Kevin, do you believe Russia has the support and mobilization to support the do you think Russia has the support and equipment to support the partial mobilization? Nah, you said support twice in there. I was just reading. All right. Does Ukraine need more manpower? So right now, the regeneration of forces is a little bit in Ukraine's favor. Ukraine has had a manpower advantage on the battlefield since the start. This is one of those things where you're really comparing apples to oranges. Russia has a much larger population. Russia has a much larger military. Russia has a much larger reserve force. Ukraine has more people under arms in Ukraine, which makes sense when you think about it, because all fighting age males essentially are involved in some way, shape, or form. And that's not the case in Russia. The vast majority of that population is not involved in the conflict. So Ukraine, throughout this war, big picture, has had the manpower advantage in Ukraine. And what it looks like right now is that Ukraine is also regenerating forces better and faster than Russia. Russia's manpower comes from one place. Their equipment comes from one place, generally speaking, right? It's all coming from Russia. Ukraine's manpower all comes from one place, but they don't have to worry about mobilizing parts of the country that haven't been mobilized. They're pretty maxed out. But when it comes to the equipment side, it's not just Ukraine. They're getting equipment from all around the world. And that right now is able to create organizations, build up organizations, brigades and battalions that can take part in these offensives like Kharkiv and Kherson that Russia can't match. Russia cannot build equipment and move it to the front faster than, NATO and allied countries can send their equipment into Ukraine. And long term, that's a recipe for Ukrainian success. I hear the argument there it's not fair, because then you're pinning Russia against essentially the rest of the world. And that's kind of how this is playing out, to be honest. So anyways, to get back to the question, do they have the ability to support a mobilization? I don't know. So it's a major exercise. This is not as simple as drawing draft cards and these guys go off to training. It's a lot of transportation. It's a lot of outfits. It's a lot of uniforms. I got a 4-year-old daughter, so I say outfits now. All right. A lot of uniforms, a lot of people to conduct that training, a lot of pay, a lot of food. It's a substantial effort. Do they have the resources to support 300,000 in the next year? Sure, I think so. But I think it'll be slower than most people think. It's going to take, I think the first class that I saw reports for training on the 26th, September 26th. So no way are you seeing troops show up in the combat zone technically until mid-October, probably at the earliest.